Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Bold Micah Parsons' prediction has Cowboys star breaking prestigious record. Dallas Cowboys superstar Micah Parsons is still waiting for a new contract as Jerry Jones drags his feet and makes negotiations ugly. That led to a trade request from Parsons, but there is still some hope that the two sides can resolve their issues. Regardless of where he suits up next, Parsons will be paid, and his on-field production is not expected to take a dip. In a look into the future from ESPN.com, a bold prediction focused around Parsons. If the prediction comes to fruition, Parsons will be sitting atop the NFL record books as the holder of one of the most prestigious records in the game. It might happen in 2025, 2026, or 2027, but Parsons will break Michael Strahan and T.J. Watt's single-season sack record, 22.5, sometime in the next 3 years, Seth Walder predicted in the Cowboys blurb. Since entering the league, no player has more pass rush wins, 310, than Parsons. Parsons' impact on the field is undeniable, and that's why everyone who follows the Cowboys, and Parsons himself, is frustrated with the handling of his contract. Parsons is a generational talent, and he deserves to be paid like one. It's up to Jerry Jones to get the job done and keep him in Dallas. Last season, Parsons totaled 12 sacks and 43 tackles. By hitting the double-digit mark, Parsons joined an exclusive club of NFL legends to record at least 10 sacks in each of their first 4 seasons. The other 3 players were Pro Football Hall of Famers Dwight Freeney, Derek Thomas, and Reggie White. Micah Parsons, Cowboys contract saga gets grim update with no end in sight. Dallas Cowboys Nation isn't going to like the latest update about the ongoing Micah Parsons contract debacle, as Jerry Jones' gross mishandling of the situation continues to make things worse. NFL insider Adam Schefter provided the latest update on Parsons during an appearance on ESPN's Get Up, and it paints a grim picture. Schefter made it clear that there is no resolution in sight, and his status for the Week 1 opener against the Philadelphia Eagles is more unclear than ever. No deal in sight. If there's no deal in sight, what's going to happen? Is Micah going to play in the opener? We've already heard Jerry Jones wonder about whether Micah would be out there on opening day, Schefter said. He continued, what would be the Cowboys' plan here? Well, if obviously they can't get a long-term deal done, and the two sides are not even talking about it right now, then they can always have Micah this year, if he plays. And they have the franchise tag after this year. They'd have the franchise tag the next year. They have his rights, essentially, for 3 years. At some point in time, you have to wonder if they would look to trade him. Dallas has stood firm in their stance that there are no plans to trade the disgruntled pass rusher, but it gets to a certain point that the relationship is too fractured to continue, and it's best for everyone to part ways. Hopefully, it won't get to that point, but that seems to be the way momentum is going with Jones' stubbornness and lack of urgency to get a deal done. Now they've been very opposed to that idea, publicly saying, "We're not interested in trading him," Schefter continued. Either you're going to work on a long-term deal, which they haven't done with him, or you're going to have to explore other options. Which they haven't yet, but there are people around the league who wonder if they'll get to that point in time. Clearly, the status quo, the way it is right now, is not going to hold up. And so I think both sides are disappointed with the other side. We're waiting to see where this goes. And there's no deal in sight right now. Parsons entered the offseason saying he'd like to get a deal done early, even suggesting he would take a discount to help the team be active in free agency. Then, he showed up to the first voluntary workout of the season like he said he would. Parsons continued to act in good faith, attending mandatory minicamp and showing up for training camp, but he wasn't rewarded, and is still waiting. Jerry Jones dragged his feet too long, and that's the only reason things have gotten to this point. There is no one for Jones to blame other than the man in the mirror. Cowboys predicted to cut ties with former touted quarterback in roster shakeup. The Dallas Cowboys gave Joe Milton an opportunity to impress during the team's preseason opener against the Los Angeles Rams, but the signal caller left a lot to be desired. Amid the Cowboys' backup quarterback battle, Milton played the majority of the game over Will Grier. Yet, the Cowboys' offense scored just 3 points in the first 3 quarters. Milton struggled with consistency and showed an inability to lead scoring drives in his Cowboys debut. In the end, it may not matter, as all signs point to Dallas naming Milton as the team's backup quarterback behind Dak Prescott. This spells bad news for Will Grier, who rushed for a touchdown versus the Rams despite limited snaps. After a standout college football career at West Virginia, Grier was once mentioned as a potential first-round pick. Ultimately, the Carolina Panthers selected Grier in the 3rd round of the 2019 NFL Draft. Former Giants 2nd-round pick named trade candidate. Cowboys eyeing. Since the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have too many offensive weapons, wide receiver Sterling Shepard could be a trade candidate this 2025 regular season. According to Bleacher Report, they still believe Shepard could be on the trade block despite just signing him last offseason to reunite him with quarterback Baker Mayfield. However, there might not be much of a significant role in this offense anymore since other weapons like Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and 2025 draft pick Emeka Egbuka will receive most of the looks. Originally selected in the 2nd round of the 2016 NFL Draft, the former Oklahoma product signed a new extension, but after putting up just 334 receiving yards and 1 touchdown on 32 receptions, it seems easier for the Buccaneers to move on from him than to keep the receiver around. Shepard became one of the main contributors for the New York Giants early in his career, but he was slowly losing his spark, so the Giants decided it was best to move on. As Jalen McMillan is turning into another promising wide receiver as well, and after getting Trey Palmer, it would leave Shepard at the bottom of the depth chart. Even though the Buccaneers won't get much in return as far as the salary cap, they could still dangle him on the trade block to see what they potentially get as far as draft picks. The Dallas Cowboys have 2 high-level pass catchers in George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. Jalen Tolbert is entering the final year of his contract, and since Dallas has been slow in the Micah Parsons contract situation, there's no guarantee that he will be back, especially if he doesn't live up to the standards for the Cowboys. They could get a medium-risk option like the Cowboys always fall in love with, and get Shepard if he becomes available.